Hello and welcome back to the Bird Cage. We have a very upsetting recap today. The Creighton Bluejays fell to the Georgetown Hoyas 57-81 in DC. The Blue Jays moved to 7-5 on the year in what was the worst game I've seen Creighton play in a long time. This was worse than Nebraska, worse than the effort given in San Diego State and Texas A&M combined. Nobody on the team wanted to play except Stephen Ashworth, and we'll talk about that a little later. This was utterly embarrassing for all the fans, unacceptable, disappointing. The Creighton Blue Jays played horrific. They did nothing good. Nothing good. It was another game of disappointment, another game of where the hell are people at? Players just didn't show up ready to go. We got physically dominated by a Georgetown team who will probably finish in the bottom half of the Big East. If it's the same Georgetown team that we saw today, they might win the damn league. But this team, the Creighton, just did not play. They were horrific. Didn't seem like they wanted to play, and it was embarrassing. The score at halftime in front of 4,000 fans. Georgetown was only able to get 4,000 people into this game. And the score at halftime was 28-34. We'll talk about why this game was the way it was because, ooh, it was bad. Creighton couldn't score. And what we've noticed so far about this team is they can't guard either. So when you have a team that can't guard and you have a team that can't score, it's going to be hard to win basketball games. And that's why they're 7-5 this year. And I know that they've been killed by injuries this year. And we've had a pretty good last week. But this game was the worst that I've seen Creighton play in at least a few years. Creighton shot less than 30 or less than 40% from the field. Now I'm going to do some math because I just really don't want to. I don't even want to talk about it really. It's bad. It's really bad. This is now, let me look. One, two, three, four. This is the fourth game this year where Creighton has shot under 40% from the field. The fourth game where they have shot under 40% from the field. Under 40. It's ridiculous. They shot 12 of 33 from three. They shot damn near a better percentage from three than they did the field. Oh, and they went 3 of 9 from the foul line, going 1 for 7 in the second half. And I know 3 of them were Jackson McAndrew. We'll talk about that a little later. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They shot 53 shots the entire game. 33 of them were from behind the arc. They didn't even want to get in the paint all game. 16 turnovers against a Georgetown team that I don't think is going to be very good defensively this year. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. But so far, Creighton has given up 76 points per game. Probably more. It's like 76 points per game? Are you serious? It's not good. That's not a good number. It's not. It's not going to win you a lot of games, especially in the Big East. Especially in the Big East, that won't win you very many games. Horrific defensively. Georgetown, they lit it up. They did. 55% from the field, 63% from three almost, 62 and a half. They played extremely well. They made shots. They had key contributors come off the bench, knock down shots. Jordan Burks had 7 points. Curtis Williams Jr. had 12. Right? If Williams Jr. is going to have 12 points, tip your hat, I guess. But it was bad. This team got out rebounded by 14 rebounds. Keep in mind, we have Ryan Kolkbrenner. He had four. He is 7 foot, and he had four rebounds. They made a lot of shots. You can argue that's why. But like Georgetown also had a lot of second chance points. Like they had a lot of they had 11 second chance points off offensive rebounds. Creighton only had 5. They lost the rebounding battle by 14. It's a it was a bad game. This is the worst I've seen Creighton play all year. This is the worst I've seen Creighton play in a long, long time. It reminds me of when Georgetown beat us in the Big East Tournament Championship a few years ago. Epps and PV combined for 41. We talked about how Epps and PV are really good players and how this Georgetown team was much improved from last year. We talked about that on the preview. We did. And it's true. But they were missing Malik Mack. He didn't play because of a knee injury that happening at Syracuse. So their fourth best player, hypothetically, wasn't playing at all. And Malik Mack wasn't needed to BTA Creighton. That's what it was. It was bad. Abs PV killed us. And this is the second straight game where Stephen Ashworth has gotten cooked defensively. I mean, Epps scored 21 on him, but it's not his fault, and we'll talk about that later. The performance and the effort tonight was not there. Really bad turnovers. It was unfortunate. And if you had to watch this game, I apologize because you should not have had to pay to watch this game. We should have been getting compensated for watching this game. That's how bad it was. Let me talk a little bit about what frustrated me really during that game. Because, man, Creighton has had a lot of injuries this year. Ryan Kolkbrenner, Pop Isaacs, Ashworth's ankle that kept him out of San Diego State. But you're just sitting there and you're like, you can questioning the way this roster was built is not crazy. There's a lot of potential, and I'm not giving up on the season at all. I'll watch every game. I'll support every game. I'm going to the Nova game on Saturday. I I hope we can play better there. But like, you just came off a loss to Alabama and a close game. They played Alabama really close. And I'm thinking in my head, this is a get right game. Huge, huge game against Georgetown to open up Big East play. They already had 4 losses. They would move to 8-4, be moving in the right direction, going 3-1 in their last 4 games, losing to Alabama, which most teams in the country lose to Alabama. No, they got walked the entire game. Georgetown scored 70 or 47 points on them in the second half. 47. A lot of that's because Creighton just kind of gave up, threw in the towel. Nobody wanted to be there. The effort was crappy. On the scale of 1 to 10, like a 3 at best, maybe. And then it dropped to a 2 once Georgetown took the lead. But we have a very obvious problem at the 3. At the 3. Because as much as we would want that to be Neal's playing the 2 because Pop's hurt. And whether that's going to be Miller or Green, we got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. Mason Miller today started at the three, went 0 for 2, played 17 minutes. He can't shoot this year. He has really struggled shooting the ball, and it's a confidence thing because like he showed us last year he can shoot, led the Big East in shooting percentage, and he just can't do it this year. He just cannot do it this year. It's upsetting. It's pretty scary, but he is shooting 13% from three. Like he's shooting 12.5% from the floor. Most of his shots are from three, but you're just like, come on. He can't really shoot right now. Isaac Trout's pretty streaky. Isaac Trout's more than capable. He is more than capable this year, but he's shot 36-ish% from three. He made one today. He had 3 points. He went 1 for 4. Trout's capable, but we really need Trout to knock some down, some key ones down. Jason Green didn't really have a great game either. Went scoreless. So you're sitting there and you're just like, ugh, what do you do? What do you do? Jason Green went 0 for 1 from the field. It was a three-pointer. He had 5 rebounds, led the team. That was the best stat he had. Other than that, I mean, his defense was all right at times. Others times it wasn't nearly as good. But you're just saying we need to figure something out. We need to figure something out. I'm thinking of Nebraska and Georgetown in particular. Those teams came out and pressured us, and it was just brutal the way we would just cave to the pressure. And it was unacceptable. It's unacceptable. The effort was just unacceptable. Jemiah Neal, 2 for 8 from the field. He shot three threes, made one of them. Pretty sure that was luck, too. Like, he started 0 for 5, and it was one bad three-pointer, and then all layups that he just point blank missed, either missed or blew, or got swatted by a freshman. The freshman's good. He's great, actually. Fits their system really well and is going to be one hell of a player for Ed Cooley and for Georgetown out. But man, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. Like he started 0 for 5. I remember he missed a layup and then Georgetown turned it over. Ashworth had it and passed it to Neal and then he got swatted. And you're just sitting there and you're like, you serious? It was a 2v1 and Neal just got swatted. We need to figure something out there. His defense was pretty poor for a little bit. I don't know. I really didn't watch much of Jemiah Neal today just because of how poor he pretty much played. He'll admit that he played poor too if you ask him. In my notes, I just have Kalkbrenner's notes as soft. Charmin. It was a bad game for Ryan Kalkbrenner. Looked like he's still dealing with a back injury of some sort. 4 of 8 from the field. He made 2 threes, but he shot 5 of them. We don't want Ryan Kalkbrenner shooting 5 threes. Georgetown will send us a Christmas card if Ryan Kalkbrenner is going to take more than 2 threes. If it was me, I wouldn't want Ryan Kalkbrenner shooting any threes. Like 5 of his 8 field goals were 3-pointers. You're 7 foot like 2. Get in the paint. He had 3 blocks. Cool. 10 points from Ryan Kalkbrenner. Bad. Bad. They were doing a lot of things defensively to kind of force him to take tough shots or not even shoot at all, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Before we talked about the positives, I want to talk about Shane Thomas. I like Shane Thomas. I think he can do a lot of things for Creighton. I think he provides some stuff. He provides a spark sometimes. Defensively, he got absolutely cooked. He played 15 minutes, shot 0 for 2 from the field. He had two turnovers, one being a horrific lob pass to Kalkbrenner. Just got picked off. Horrific. It wasn't open. Horrific pass. Defensively, he got cooked a few times. Well, I really want to say positive things, but there's no positive things about this game. Jackson McAndrew is going to be a stud. I really am praying to God and hoping that he doesn't transfer because he is going to be an incredible player. He had 13 points. He should have had 16. He missed three straight free throws. Not that it even mattered. We were losing by 20, but he missed three straight free throws. And I want to apologize to Stephen Ashworth for the he had a great performance. I feel like he was the one really carrying the load. 37 minutes he played, 7 of 17, 5 of 12 from 3. Did a little bit of everything. I'm yawning thinking about this game. It was so bad. I I'm sorry, Ashworth. 21 points. Like you really couldn't get help from anybody else today, and there's not much you can say about it. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from the Creighton Blue Jays. A performance I really hope we can shake off because we have to get going, play on Saturday. So, gotta figure something out. Nova's a must win. It's a must win against Villanova, and then you have 10 days to prepare for St. John's. So, I mean, there's not much to say about it. The Creighton Blue Jays got outplayed, they got out hustled, they got dominated mentally, physically, emotionally. Can't guard anybody, can't score. We got to figure a lot of things out. And this team has a lot of potential. They do. Ryan Kalkbrenner, McAndrew, Neal, Ashworth, Trout, Green, Miller. A lot of things we got to figure out. But if we play like this, we're not making the NCAA tournament. That is pretty much all I have for this game. The Creighton Blue Jays fall to Georgetown 57-81 on the road. The Blue Jays will be back on Saturday taking on Villanova at home. That game is scheduled to be at 3 p.m., so an afternoon game. I hope we can come out ready to play because Saturday kind of feels like a must win.